Have you ever wondered what could make each day more complete and meaningful the moment you wake up in the morning? Life often feels like a raging wave, bringing unpredictable challenges. Amid this whirlwind, can we find the peace, strength, and wisdom to stand firm? The answer lies in how you begin your day, with a heart full of gratitude and a clear, focused mind. Stoicism, the philosophy of resilience, is not some distant, abstract theory, but a guiding principle for living fully in each moment. Stoicism reminds us that happiness doesn't come from controlling everything that happens to us, but from controlling how we respond to it. Sometimes, a few sincere morning reminders, seemingly simple phrases with profound strength, are all it takes to build a steady and inspired day. Imagine this: every morning, instead of rushing headlong into the pressures of the day, you take a few moments to remind yourself of your gratitude for life, your inner strength to overcome adversity, and your humility to accept what cannot be changed. 7 meaningful statements, repeated daily, act not just as affirmations, but as seeds of peace, courage, and wisdom. Let's explore these 7 empowering Stoic reminders, which will help you step into each day with confidence, determination, and a heart full of hope. Don't let life's storms defeat you. Let your mind lead the way. 1. I am grateful for this new day. Every morning, as the sun begins to rise, do you pause to feel the warmth of its first light? Or does your mind immediately dive into the whirlwind of daily worries? The modern world, with its relentless pace, seems to make us forget that simply waking up and living another day is an invaluable privilege. The phrase, "I am grateful for this new day," is not just a reminder, but a profound practice of Stoic philosophy, helping you start your day with gratitude, calmness, and mindfulness. Gratitude is a core value in Stoic philosophy because it encourages us to focus on the positive and meaningful aspects of life, rather than dwelling on what we lack or cannot change. Marcus Aurelius, the renowned philosopher king, wrote in Meditations, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, to love." This simple truth reminds us that each new day is not just an opportunity to exist, but a privilege to live, think, and love. But how can we truly feel this amidst the pressures of modern life? You can try pausing for a few seconds as you wake up and ask yourself, what do I have today that I should not take for granted? In today's context, think about those who have faced unimaginable challenges, like Nick Vujicic, a man born without arms or legs, yet who inspires millions with his powerful message of resilience. For him, every new day is an opportunity to cherish the value of life and the joy of living, despite adversity. He doesn't have everything, but he is grateful for what he has: family, the ability to communicate, and the strength of his will. You may wonder, but how can I feel grateful when everything around me is chaotic, when I'm facing failure, pain, or injustice? The answer lies in how you choose to perceive the situation. Stoicism teaches that while we cannot control what happens, we can control how we respond. For instance, instead of waking up and complaining about the burden of work, remind yourself that not everyone has the opportunity to work and contribute. Instead of feeling frustrated by family problems, remember that love and human connection are gifts that not everyone is fortunate to have. This shift in perspective, though small, can make a significant difference in your mood and life. Stoic philosophy often uses nature as a metaphor to highlight the impermanence and value of each moment. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Dwell on the beauty of life, watch the stars, and see yourself running with them. Each new day, like a shooting star across the night sky, is a gift from the universe. When we see the beauty of dawn, it is not merely sunlight. It is a reminder that life is worth cherishing, no matter how fleeting or challenging. Consider those who have survived natural disasters, such as the earthquakes in Turkey or the devastating floods across the globe. After enduring loss, they often say what they value most isn't their possessions, but the chance to live another day with their loved ones. Gratitude becomes the guiding light in their darkest nights. If you want gratitude to become part of your life, practice it every morning. Take a few minutes to write down 3 things you are grateful for, even if they seem small: a good night's sleep, a warm cup of tea, or the presence of loved ones. By doing so, you create a positive cycle that helps you appreciate today more deeply. The phrase, "I am grateful for this new day," is not just an affirmation, but an invitation to slow down, cherish what you have, and step into the day with a more positive mindset. It's a choice you can make every morning, not just to survive the day, but to truly live in every moment. As Seneca emphasized, true happiness is to enjoy the present, without anxious dependence upon the future. Try starting your tomorrow with this meaningful reminder and let gratitude illuminate your path, because simply being alive is already a magnificent gift. 2. I embrace impermanence. Have you ever wondered why we often fear change? We cling to the familiar, desperately trying to hold on to what cannot be held, refusing to face the true essence of life, impermanence. Yet, it is within this impermanence that Stoic philosophy finds the deepest meaning of living. The phrase, "I embrace impermanence," is not merely a reminder that everything changes. It is a courageous and serene acceptance of life's ever-changing flow. By embracing impermanence, you not only free yourself from fear, but also discover true freedom. Stoic philosophy teaches that everything in life is temporary, from emotions and possessions to life itself. Marcus Aurelius writes in Meditations, "Observe constantly that all things take place by change, and accustom yourself to consider that the nature of the universe loves nothing so much as to change the things which are and to make new things like them." He saw change not merely as inevitable, but as an expression of the universe's natural and creative essence. When you learn to accept that everything is in flux, you liberate yourself from the burden of trying to control what is not yours to control. Have you stopped to ask yourself, am I fighting against life's natural flow, or am I learning to move with it peacefully? A modern example is the constant evolution of technology. The phones we once saw as cutting edge are now relics. Social media, where we store our memories and relationships, is but a fleeting moment in history. Impermanence is the nature of progress, but also the source of loss. When you accept that all of these things, whether they are gadgets or your role in society, are temporary, you cling less to what could disappear at any moment. Stoicism encourages us to embrace impermanence, not just to prepare for loss, but to better appreciate what we have now. Epictetus said in Discourses, "Never say about anything, 'I have lost it,' but instead, 'I have given it back.'" He viewed everything we possess, whether material goods or relationships, as temporary gifts from the universe, borrowed for a short time. This perspective can transform the way you see the world. Instead of fearing loss, you learn to feel gratitude for having had it at all. Think of a cherry blossom in spring. When is it most beautiful? Is it when it first blooms, or when its petals begin to fall? The short-lived nature of the bloom doesn't diminish its value. It enhances it. making us cherish its fragile beauty even more. Life is the same. Impermanence is not a reason to fear, but a reminder that every moment is precious. If everything were eternal, would we still appreciate its value? Or would it become mundane and meaningless? In everyday life, inspiring stories of accepting impermanence can be found everywhere. Consider an athlete at the peak of their career, forced to leave the field due to injury. Many of them find peace when they realize that their sports career was just one chapter of their life. Andrea Pirlo, the legendary Italian footballer, once said after retiring, "I am not sad to leave football. It was always meant to end. Now, I embrace what comes next." This peace comes from accepting that nothing lasts forever, and in that change, we can begin anew. Finally, think about yourself. Can you ask yourself, am I ready to accept that everything, my career, my possessions, even my existence, is temporary? Can I find peace in letting go of control? The answer may not come immediately, but as you start to embrace impermanence, you will feel a sense of relief. Impermanence is not an enemy. It is a great teacher, showing you that only by letting go of what cannot be held forever can you truly be free. To accept impermanence is to tell yourself, I am not afraid of change because I know that change is what makes life beautiful. 3. I cultivate compassion for myself and others. Stoic philosophy is often misunderstood as a rigid, emotionless ideology, but a deeper look into its classic works reveals that compassion is one of its core values. The phrase, "I cultivate compassion for myself and others," reflects this philosophy and serves as a profound reminder that compassion is the foundation for living harmoniously, both with ourselves and with the world. But how can we nurture compassion in a world often defined by competition and coldness? The answer lies in understanding and practicing mindfulness. Epictetus, in Discourses, emphasized, "We are not disturbed by things, but by the views we take of them." This message is deeply connected to compassion. When you understand that people do not act out of inherent malice but are often guided by false beliefs or ignorance, compassion replaces judgment. Imagine a colleague acting irritable or uncooperative. Instead of letting anger take control, you might ask yourself, what might they be facing that I don't understand? This question not only helps you empathize with them, but also shields you from the negative emotions that can harm your well-being. Compassion isn't just about treating others kindly, it's also vital for how you treat yourself. One of the greatest mistakes we often make is setting unrealistically high expectations for ourselves, leading to disappointment, self-blame, and feelings of worthlessness. Marcus Aurelius, in Meditations, wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Reflect on how many times you've blamed yourself for unintentional mistakes, rather than recognizing that you did the best you could under the circumstances. Self-compassion doesn't mean excusing errors, but understanding that you don't have to be perfect, and that's perfectly fine. Ask yourself, am I treating myself with the same kindness I would show to someone I love? In practice, compassion has the power to transform seemingly negative situations into opportunities for connection. Consider the story of Mahatma Gandhi. During his fight for India's independence, he faced immense injustice and hatred. Yet, instead of responding with resentment, he chose compassion as his weapon. Gandhi famously said, "Compassion is a muscle that gets stronger with use." When confronting his oppressors, he didn't just see their actions. He understood the fear and misguided beliefs driving them. As a result, he not only altered political landscapes, but also touched the hearts of those who opposed him. How can you apply compassion in your daily life, even if you're not a great leader? Think about people like drivers stuck in hours of traffic, single mothers working tirelessly, or even yourself on a challenging day. Compassion can start with small acts, like a smile, a word of thanks, or simply withholding judgment. As Epictetus said, "Nature hath given men one tongue but two ears, that we may hear from others twice as much as we speak." Understanding others through their words or actions is the simplest way to cultivate compassion. A recent and relatable example comes from an everyday encounter at a supermarket in Tokyo. A cashier patiently assisted an elderly woman who continuously complained about prices. When asked why, he explained that she had lost her husband and children, and this was her only conversation of the day. For him, compassion wasn't an obligation, but a means to preserve human connection. You might ask yourself, am I showing the same patience and empathy in my daily interactions? In summary, I cultivate compassion for myself and others is more than a personal affirmation. It is a guiding principle for all relationships. It reminds us that compassion is not a weakness, but a profound inner strength. When you treat yourself and those around you with compassion, you not only ease present suffering, but also plant the seeds for lasting happiness. Ask yourself, have I lived with compassion today? Only when your heart is filled with empathy can you truly touch the depth of life. 4. I walk the path of wisdom. When you tell yourself each morning, I walk the path of wisdom, you are not merely stating an intention, but defining the direction of your life. The path of wisdom is not a destination, but a lifelong journey, a process of constant discovery and growth. Yet, wisdom here is not simply knowledge or academic understanding. To the Stoics, wisdom is the ability to live in harmony with nature, make sound decisions based on virtuous values, and maintain tranquility amidst life's inevitable changes. Epictetus once said, "A man can't learn what he thinks he already knows." This statement serves as a wake-up call to anyone complacent in their understanding. One of the key principles of walking the path of wisdom is humility, the acknowledgement that we never know everything and must always remain open to learning. Ask yourself, what can I learn today from those around me, from the challenges I face, and from my own mistakes? Wisdom does not arise from perfection. It is forged in the most challenging lessons of life. The path of wisdom is not always easy. Consider the story of a potter. To create a beautiful vase, the potter must patiently endure trials and failures. Sometimes a vase will crack in the kiln, but from this, the potter learns to adjust the fire or choose better clay. Similarly, wisdom is the result of patience and the ability to accept the cracks within ourselves, our mistakes, failures, and trials. Marcus Aurelius emphasized this in Meditations. If someone can show me that what I think or do is not right, I will happily change, for I seek the truth, by which no one was ever truly harmed. He did not fear being challenged because every rebuttal brought him closer to the truth. But the path of wisdom is not only about learning and correcting mistakes. It is also about the courage to act in alignment with the values you believe in. Imagine being a fisherman at sea, facing a fierce storm. You have two choices: turn back to the safety of the harbor or press on to save a critical catch. A Stoic would choose the latter, not out of recklessness, but because it aligns with a larger purpose. Such action requires wisdom, the ability to weigh risks against rewards and fears against goals. This idea is vividly illustrated in the story of Viktor Frankl, a Jewish psychologist who survived Auschwitz. In the harshest conditions imaginable, he retained the wisdom to recognize that the ultimate freedom of humanity is the ability to choose one's attitude toward any circumstance. He wrote in Man's Search for Meaning, "Everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances." Frankl's story demonstrates that wisdom is not confined to books, but serves as a torch to guide us through the darkness. In modern life, you can see examples of walking the path of wisdom in how people handle workplace pressures. A great leader doesn't just give orders, they listen and learn from their team. When they make mistakes, they take responsibility and use the experience to improve. Similarly, in personal relationships, someone who listens and empathizes rather than stubbornly defending their viewpoint is also walking the path of wisdom. A question you can ask yourself daily to strengthen your commitment to this path is, do my decisions today reflect the wisdom and values I want to live by? This question helps you balance thought and action, knowledge and ethics. Remember, the path of wisdom is not a straight journey. There will be days when you lose your way, but recognizing this is itself a sign of growth. As Seneca said, "No man was ever wise by chance." Wisdom does not come by accident, but through conscious effort every day. When you say, "I walk the path of wisdom," you are not just reminding yourself to live responsibly, but to contribute meaningfully to the world around you. Walk forward, step by step, with patience, humility, and faith that each new day is an opportunity to learn and grow. The path of wisdom is the most beautiful journey you can choose in this life. I am at peace with myself. I am at peace with myself. A simple yet powerful declaration that forms the foundation that enables us to face life's challenges. In Stoic philosophy, inner peace is not something that happens by chance. It is the result of cultivation, acceptance, and deep self-understanding. But how do we achieve this peace in a chaotic world, where external pressures and expectations constantly pull us away from our true selves? Stoicism teaches that true peace can only be found within, not in external circumstances. In modern life, we are often caught in a whirlwind of comparisons, competition, and ever-changing societal standards. Have you ever asked yourself, are the endless efforts to please others truly making you happy, or are they deepening your pain? Inner peace doesn't come from meeting others' expectations, but from accepting yourself, your strengths as well as your flaws. To illustrate this, consider the life of Epictetus, a philosopher who was once a slave. He had no control over his external circumstances, yet he found inner peace by mastering his thoughts and reactions. In Discourses, he wrote, "Man is disturbed not by things, but by the views he takes of them." Epictetus understood that our emotions are not dictated by events, but by how we perceive and respond to them. This insight applies directly to our lives. For example, someone rejected for their dream job may feel defeated and insecure, or they may remind themselves, "This opportunity does not define me. I am still valuable and can create new opportunities." Another modern example is the story of those who choose to live a minimalist lifestyle. In a world obsessed with material possessions, they let go of excess belongings to focus on what truly matters. By doing so, they free themselves from the grip of scarcity or desire and experience a sense of freedom and peace. This aligns with Seneca's teaching. It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor. If you ask yourself, am I living to satisfy myself or to please the world? The answer might be the first step toward inner peace. Beyond philosophy, practice is key. One exercise encouraged by Stoicism is contemplating mortality, memento mori. While this may sound grim, it helps us appreciate the present and accept life's impermanence. When you confront the reality that your time is finite, trivial worries fade, and it becomes easier to find contentment with yourself. For instance, instead of stressing over what others think of you, ask, will this matter a year from now, or even at the end of my life? Inner peace also comes from forgiveness, not just for others but for yourself. We are often our own harshest critics, feeling perpetually inadequate or unworthy. But remember, even the wisest philosophers made mistakes. Seneca wrote, "Everywhere means nowhere." When a person spends all his time in foreign travel, he ends up having many acquaintances, but no friends. Instead of blaming yourself for past errors, view them as lessons that helped you grow. Are you imprisoning yourself in old wounds, or have you learned to let go and find peace? Ultimately, the phrase, "I am at peace with myself," is not a proclamation of perfection, but a commitment to yourself. It is a reminder that you don't need to be someone else or live a life you didn't choose. It is an agreement to live in your truest nature, accepting that you are enough, even when the outside world tries to make you doubt it. By starting each day with inner peace, you not only transform the way you live, but also spread that peace to those around you. As Marcus Aurelius said, "Nowhere you can go is more peaceful, more free of interruptions than your soul. And in that place, you will always find your true home." 6. I focus only on what I can control. Life is an unpredictable stream where events often unfold in ways we cannot foresee or control. Amid the storms of life, is there a steady ground we can hold on to? Stoic philosophy offers a simple yet profound answer. Focus only on what lies within your control. The phrase, "I focus only on what I can control," is not just a reminder, but a core principle for navigating challenges without being swept away by negative emotions. Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher who once lived as a slave, laid the foundation for this principle in his Enchiridion. Some things are up to us, and some things are not up to us. He explained that what we can control includes our thoughts, actions, and reactions. In contrast, everything else, such as the weather, other people's health, or criticism, is beyond our grasp. The difference between someone who lives calmly and someone who constantly worries lies in their ability to distinguish between what to focus on and what to let go of. Ask yourself, how many times in life have you been drained by things you couldn't change? Have you worried about a colleague's disrespect or felt frustrated by a heavy rain ruining your plans? Such moments not only sap your energy, but also rob you of the chance to invest in what truly matters. For example, a farmer can either resent the relentless rain or focus on reinforcing his fields against flooding. This simple choice holds the key to freeing oneself from the burden of what lies beyond control. Imagine an athlete competing in a crucial match. He cannot control the referee, his opponent, or the audience. But he can control his focus, his performance, and his determination. If he pays too much attention to external factors, he loses himself. Conversely, by concentrating on what he can do, he achieves peak performance, regardless of the outcome. Stoicism is not merely theoretical, but provides practical tools to focus on what you can control. A familiar yet powerful exercise is negative visualization. Each morning, You can ask yourself, what's the worst that could happen today? Consider the challenges you might face and envision how you'll respond with calmness and wisdom. If you anticipate someone criticizing your work, you'll be prepared to accept it when it happens rather than overreacting. This practice is not about fostering pessimism, but about being mentally prepared and channeling your energy into what you can influence. It's a way to turn adversity into an opportunity for growth. Think of a content creator facing negative comments. Instead of dwelling on criticisms beyond their control, they choose to focus on improving their content. This is Stoicism applied to modern life. Life is full of uncertainties, and there will always be things beyond your control. But rather than letting them dictate your emotions, focus on what you can change: your thoughts, actions, and attitudes. Epictetus reminds us, make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens. Only by learning to let go of what's outside your grasp can you truly enjoy freedom in your mind and heart. So tomorrow, when you wake up, ask yourself, what lies within my control today, and what can I let go of? The answer might just transform your life forever. 7. I face challenges with courage and resilience. The phrase, "I face challenges with courage and resilience," is a powerful reminder of the nature of life and how we confront adversity. In Stoic philosophy, life is likened to an arena where each of us is a gladiator, and courage and resilience are the weapons we use to face inevitable challenges. No one lives without encountering difficulties, but how we respond to them defines who we are. Courage and resilience, two core virtues of Stoic philosophy, are the keys to overcoming life's storms and growing stronger with each stumble. Epictetus, one of the most prominent Stoic philosophers, once said, "Difficulties are things that show a person what they are, discourses. Challenges are not enemies. They are mirrors reflecting our inner strength and character." Every obstacle in life is an opportunity to discover the latent power within ourselves. But how can one maintain courage and resilience when everything seems to go against them? Pause and ask yourself, is this the time to give up, or is it the moment to prove my capability? Remember, courage is not the absence of fear, but the ability to act despite it. Examples of courage and resilience are not confined to philosophy. They vividly appear in everyday life. Take the story of Erik Weihenmayer, the first blind man to summit Mount Everest. He not only overcame physical challenges, but also defied societal prejudices. Erik shared that he didn't see his blindness as a limitation, but as an opportunity to challenge himself and prove that human will can conquer any obstacle. For Erik, the mindset of "I face challenges with courage and resilience" wasn't just a phrase, it was a philosophy that propelled him to heights most would hesitate to even imagine. But are courage and resilience innate qualities, or can they be cultivated? Stoicism is clear: they can be developed through practice. Seneca, another Stoic philosopher, emphasized, "Fire tests gold, suffering tests brave men." Letters to Lucilius. Just as gold becomes purer through fire, people grow through adversity. This means that every challenge is not a curse, but an opportunity to become stronger. Think about the times you've faced failures in your life, whether it was a broken relationship, a failed project, or a delayed dream. What did you learn from those moments? Was it not through these hardships that you gained patience, resilience, and the strength to rise again? The phrase, "I face challenges with courage and resilience," also serves as a reminder that these virtues don't always equate to victory. Sometimes they simply mean not giving up, no matter how dire the circumstances. Consider Malala Yousafzai, who was shot by the Taliban for advocating women's right to education. Instead of succumbing to fear, she turned her ordeal into a platform for global change, becoming a symbol of courage. What drove her? A belief in her ability to make a difference and an unyielding determination to pursue her dream, even in the face of terrifying challenges. Challenges, as Stoic philosophy teaches, are not something to avoid, but something to confront. It is in adversity that we discover who we truly are. And if each morning you remind yourself, "I face challenges with courage and resilience," you not only prepare your mind to tackle difficulties, but also cultivate an unshakable will to withstand anything life throws your way. This is the essence of Stoic philosophy, turning adversity into a teacher and each challenge into a step toward a higher version of yourself. Life, like a river in constant flow, carries us through moments of serenity and stretches of turbulent rapids. Each morning offers a new opportunity to set your mindset and prepare yourself for the journey ahead, not by seeking perfection, but by living with wisdom, gratitude, and courage. The affirmations you remind yourself of each morning are not meaningless repetitions. They are guiding principles that lead you through challenges, help you maintain clarity, and open your heart. Stoic philosophy teaches us that life is not defined by what happens to us, but by how we respond to it. These 7 affirmations, powerful and profound, are part of the journey to building inner strength. They remind you to appreciate the small things, embrace impermanence, cultivate compassion, walk the path of wisdom, and face every difficulty with unyielding courage. These are not mere lofty words, but seeds planted in your soul to nurture a life of greater meaning and resilience. Start each day with these affirmations, and when the evening comes, you can look back with pride, knowing you've lived fully, not swept away by adversity or negative emotions. Let your heart be filled with simple joy and your mind remain clear and steadfast. And don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to spread this philosophy to others. Stay tuned for more Stoic lessons displayed at the end of this video. Together, we can make the world a better place.